listened to Joe Godot.
It was 3 o'clock on Sunday morning when Stella Estragon rang the bell. Mr. Godot was waiting for her, well, as he always did. I answered the door. "Oh, my name is Boy. Just Boy." "Oh, hi, Mrs. Estragon. Mr. Godot is waiting for you. Come on in."
Oh, hi, Boy. The usual spot?
"Oh, yeah, sure. In the library. With the bar cart." "Oh, you look swell, Mrs. Estragon. Let me take your mink."
Oh, of course. Be careful, though. I just got it cleaned. It's not easy to get creme brulee out of fur.
Gotcha. I'll remember that in the future.
Hi, Joe. Got my Russian ready?
Silky, dark and strong, just like you like it. Hard night at work?
Chin Chin. It was okay, except for a no-show at the end. A guy named Lucky, but he wasn't tonight. He missed his time slot.
So you didn't get lucky?
No, maybe I should have made myself clearer, as in no show, no go. He doesn't get a second chance. Anyway, how about you? Did you take care of the boys?
Yeah, I sent Boy out to tell them I'll see them both tomorrow for sure.
I wonder if they're suspicious yet. You know, it's been 3 days. Estragon told me he'd be just gone overnight.
If they're not, they're dumber than I thought.
Don't overestimate Estragon's brains, Joe. Sometimes he's breathtakingly slow, which can be really useful at times. But Vladimir, on the other hand...
Don't worry about Vladimir. He's my right hand. He knows his job. That's why I sent him to babysit. Speaking of which, you want another Russian?
I'll never say no.
Don't I know it? Maybe you should move to Moscow.
Not without you. Speaking of which...
Of which?
Ooh. No, I feel sorry for him in a way.
Who?
Estragon, my husband. He may be stupid, but he works hard for you. He does everything you want and gives me the loot. He'd be crushed if he found out about us.
So buy him some new shoes. Besides, he ain't doing nothing now. Him and Vladimir are just sitting around talking. That's it. Just jawing under a tree. Not like you and me.
Ooh. On the other hand...
Which hand would that be, darling?
I'm not an octopus, Joe. I've only got the 2. But I was thinking about, well, what comes next?
Next to what?
Next to this.
What makes you think there is a next? I like this just fine.
Well, I don't really like cheating on Go-Go. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's too easy. I'm beginning to get bored. Maybe I want to go free range for a while.
You ain't no chicken, doll. You don't need no new range.
Oh, you know what I mean. I want to see the world without estragon, without guilt, but with some dough.
What about one of your clients? Men like you and the right ones can be very generous. Like me, for instance.
They're not all that generous. Besides, I like you, Joe. I know what to expect. I was thinking it might be time to do, well, something solid.
So you're looking for me to help you get free?
It looks that way. You know people.
Let's talk it over in the morning. But right now... Yeah?
Will you need me any more tonight? Like this morning, Mr. Godot?
Nah, we're okay here. Wake me up at noon.
Sure, like usual. I'll make sure breakfast is ready.
We could go away, Joe. You've travelled the world, haven't you?
Yeah. We're all over the place. First class every time. I've seen everything.
You could show me around. I've always wanted to go to Paris. Everybody says it's classy. They've got some wonderful lingerie.
I've seen all that. Even that tower everybody's always talking about.
What, the Eiffel?
Yeah. I like the way it leans over. They say it's going to hit the ground one day.
Where else you been, Joe? Germany?
No, I'm not so big on that. I heard they walk around in uniforms. Maybe the Black Forest, though. That would be nice. They make them clocks there, don't they? I heard they made Big Ben there, but forgot to put the cuckoo in.
That would be some big bird.
Cuckoo. Watch out for the bird when it takes off.
Yeah. And there's always Tahiti. Wouldn't have to pack much for there.
In the winter, just soaking up the sun.
But about us, an estragon.
What do you have in mind?
Maybe he could retire. You can be really persuasive when you want to be. It wouldn't take much to make him, disappear. Vladimir too. A little money, a little strong advice not to come back.
And then we hit the cruise ships.
That would be one way to do it. We could take a long ride in a slow boat.
We can talk about it later. But I'm beginning to like the idea. Estragon hasn't been pulling his weight just lately. Yeah? What do you want, kid?
You've got another visitor, Mr. Godot. You too, Mrs. Estragon.
Yeah? Who's that?
Mrs. Vladimir. She said you'd be glad to see her.
Natasha? You've been seeing her too, Joe?
Not that I know of. But the more the merrier, as they say. Let her in, kid.
Hello, Godot. Stella. I heard you were here. As a matter of fact, I heard you've been here a lot lately.
You've obviously been hanging around in all the wrong places. Who's been feeding you? Oh, wait a minute. Have I been cutting in on your territory?
What territory would that be?
Soft nights with a big man?
Unless you've been seeing Vlad. I've got nothing to worry about that way.
Haven't seen him in ages, so I guess you're safe.
Then why are you here, darling?
It's about the cuts, the discounts, the dirty deals.
Want to let me in on them? What are you talking about?
Don't go all innocent on me. You've been two-timing all of us. Me, Vlad, Gogo, and Stella.
Wouldn't that be four-timing?
He's been keeping most of the dough our boys earned. We've been shortchanged since day one, but I just found out about it. Unless you knew?
I don't know a thing. Is she telling the truth, Joe? Do you owe us both money? Is that why I don't have enough to go out on me own? Oh, say it ain't so, Joe.
Put the shooter away, Natasha. It don't suit you. For one thing, it's older than you are.
It shoots. That's all it's got to do. And straight, unlike you. I'd get out of the way, Stella, if I were you.
You shoot him, and how are you going to find the money, Natasha?
I have my ways. It's not that hard to figure out. So spill the beans, Joe, or get ready to bite the big apple.
I ain't saying nothing.
I'm counting down. 10, 9, 8... Nice try, Godot, but you're not as fast as you used to be. I'm sorry about Stella. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. 7, 6, 5...
Thanks, boy. I owe you one.
No, you owe me a lot more than one, boss. I saw everything, and I know where the dough is stashed.
It makes you dangerous then. Time for a showdown.
So that was it. Everybody ended up on the floor, and I was the only one who knew where the key to Mr. Godot's safe was. I was sorry that Mrs. V and I wouldn't get to go away together, but if there was one thing I learned running errands, it was to, well, tie up all the loose ends. I just wondered how long Vladimir and Estragon would stick around the tree, waiting for Godot.
You have been listening to Whatever Happened to Joe Godot by Patty Cassidy, performed by David Pollard, Brianda Cross and Julie Hoverson. Another audio story featuring the demise of Joe Godot may also be found on an earlier episode of Fast Fiction Podcasts. Details of this may be found on fastfictionpodcasts.com, as well as information on the performers. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.